Chat for an hour before we even start the podcast.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we go, oh my god, we've got to start recording the podcast. You guys, well, Gary's going to say thank you, but yeah, a little peek behind the scenes of how this all works. For an hour, Gary, you're going to actually slip. No, you compare scripts.
I got 9 pages.
Gary's got 9 pages, but thank you so much for coming. We are recording this, so this will actually go out on Spotify. Let's see how it goes. But here we go. Welcome to episode 132 of There's going to be multiple thank yous, but because this is going out as a podcast as well, we just want to make sure that we do say thank yous. But just a quick, Gemma actually has run, and now she's signing Team Trail. Yeah, we're doing the hands up, first up, last up, ultra. I just saw one person whining about it. Who was it down there? Somebody. Amazing.
Yeah, when we think about when we started this podcast, oof, my goodness me, 4 years ago, 130 whatever episodes of Tea Trails, but there's been Run to the Hills too. And standing here tonight, wow, it really does feel like we've come a long, long way, so thank you. We often get asked if we reflect on what we've done, and I really think it's what we've done. All of you there individually who have supported this podcast through Patreon, through maybe buying a gel for Precision Fuel and Hydration, doing this event, sharing the content, whatever it is. You guys, honestly, when I say it, you keep the lights on, or you keep the lights hot and the mics on week after week after week. So yeah, thank you so much. Also, we need to thank Running Events, thanks Shane for slipping into our DMs.
Many times.
Also, maybe, for all the work and support over the past months, and the wreckage, really loved it. It's been such a wonderful journey to be here tonight now. Running Events, everybody there. We are very precious over this brand, Tea Trails, the podcast, and I can't think, we've both been involved with races with Running Events, so when they asked, it was a very easy decision because we knew it was in safe hands. And today, she can give a shout out to the 2 volunteers up at Skiddaw, or Skiddaw, sorry Jacob. Well, each and every one of you out there, an army of volunteers that just behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, the checkpoints, out on the course, they make it happen. It's all so slick and seamless, it's sensational. Thank you all so much.
Ready? Are we ready?
Yeah.
We've been asked this question quite a few times this weekend. How did the podcast come about? How did you and Gary meet? Are you married? I think so.
Somebody did think I was your husband once.
Yeah. So I thought I'd do a very quick 45 minutes cottage history of how the podcast came about. And lots of you will know, because if you've been die-hard fans right from the beginning, you sort of followed, you sort of see the journey. But you're here now, and lots of people are like, what happened there? What happened there? And of course, I've got no filter, so I just told you the news. But I'll give you a quick cottage history of the podcast and how it started. So actually, we need to rewind about 6 years, and I went on a podcast called Running to the Hills, talking about a subject I don't like to talk about.
I was fun of Running. Anyway.
And I had a chat with a guy, and the guy was like, my God, you can talk. And he's like, I've never had a podcast guest on before, but I don't think I needed to say anything. And I was like, is that a compliment? I'm not sure. Anyway, a couple of weeks later, the guy that was hosting that podcast said, I'm actually leaving. Would you think about doing a podcast? And I was like, no way, not my thing, don't like public speaking, don't like having a mic, I can't do that. That is actually what I thought, and I was like, no, I don't, I'm really busy, got a job, got kids, can't do it. And it's actually my husband that was like, I think you should, you've spent years pretending to be a West End musical artist, and that never happened, So, this might be something. So it's actually him that gave me a bit of a kick, so I said to the chap running the Run to Hills podcast, I said, I don't want to do it. I'll do it, but I don't want to do it on my own, and I don't want to do any editing because I struggle with replying to a WhatsApp. So there's no way I'm going to be able to do any editing, but I'm happy to share the mic with somebody. And so he said, ding, I know just the person. It wasn't actually Gary, it was a dear... It was a dear friend called John Kinniston. Some of you, he may have touched your lives. It was actually him who we met on Zoom. We only ever met one time in Scotland, which is a nice like full circle of the story. But it was him that was like, we are going to take over the world. We're going to get Western States. We're going to get UTMB. And I was like, whoa, I just signed up for this. I said, I know what it is. But he was the real driving force behind developing the podcast, doing guest interviews. He would spend hours and hours like editing. He was so passionate about all the trails, especially the Northern Traverse, West Highland Way. And I know he inspired actually a lot of our guests that then have come on the podcast and said it was John that sort of inspired them or gave them the confidence. And so we have a lot to thank for John.
You might have seen his Late 100 videos. They're very popular.
Yeah, and they still live on. And so sadly, John's no longer with us. So that was very sudden and sad. And I said, I can't do the podcast. Don't want to, anyone here that's had something really like tragic or shocking happen in their lives, and then your instant reaction is nope, you can't do anything. But then there was a little voice that was like, John's gone up, big Jesus, and he'll be looking down going, Eddie, come on please, Ashley Gentleman. And so a couple of weeks went by, and the Mental Hills podcast people liked it, and so Tim, who was running the podcast, said, I've got a new guy for you, Eddie. So I'm not sure I'm ready for a new guy. Alright, I said, okay, I'm still not sure I want to do this. I was very sad, and I thought, is it better to just leave this? And he was like, just meet this guy. I think, he's got something special about him. He's incredible. Do an interview with him and see what you think, and then, no big decisions. As we always say, no big decisions. Let's just see how it goes. So I think that was about February, wasn't it? February or March.
Yeah.
Gary popped up on a little Zoom call. Hello, Gary.
Yeah.
You were so nervous.
I'm still nervous.
You were so nervous, but I remember just like this recording, you started and you were a bit like, and then you got into it, and we had some nice chats, and you brought a different vibe. A little bit more like you are the kindest person. You are anyone that comes across Gary in their lives. You're the rock to my sand. You are just like, he keeps him ablaze, and you are it. But when I first met you, I did think, this guy's going to need to chat a bit more. And that's it. Screenshot. Oh my God. Anyway, we had that chat, and then I guess, what did we do? I can't even really remember. Then we must have just started.
Jim just
left us to it.
Coerced us into it, yeah. And I've got to thank, behind the scenes, what he didn't know about, I was having multiple meetings with Robbo in the day. And I wasn't so sure. And again, Robbo was managing my boost zone, basically. And convinced me to say yes, with the support of my wife and family, who for years we were just messing around in the front room. Yeah, it was a hustle and a struggle, and
that is what it should and it is all about. It doesn't matter about the sponsors and the numbers of people listening. Even if it was a few people, if we can change a few people, help a few people out on the trends, it doesn't even really matter. And lots of people who don't really listen to the podcast.
I just thought I was going to talk about 2020 every week. That was my and it was super important.
We had to change that session after a while.
Yeah, but we took a punt. And you guys came along with us, and here we are.
Might take it.
4 years later, 136 But so thank you. It's not very exciting, is it, the history? But that is where it is. But it is hard work, and we turn up can you imagine? We've talked to each other on Zoom every single week for 4 years. Or it takes like the whole recording normally takes about a day by the time we've interviewed the guest, you know, prep the guest, talk to the guest, and then all our show stuff as well, all the admin and stuff. It's about a day. So we've talked about a day on Zoom every day for pretty much every week for 4 years. So, but it's you guys, when we sit down, I think, oh, I did it. I'm not sure I can do it. When we press record, and I think how I feel when I press play on podcasts that I listen to, and I think of you guys like, you know, cleaning, ferrying kids, walking dogs, running, and I think the least we can do is just whisper away in your ears for a little bit. So thank you very much for listening. And now the rest of this evening will be more of our traditional format, with a few little hidden surprises as well.
Should we go with the coaches?
Let's do Brew with the Coaches.
Round of applause, please, for our kick-ass coach, Trish. Breathe and believe. Officer.
Sure, remember to send Trish a question.
We had a little chat in the tent.
It's only slightly less awkward than the first time I was on stage tonight. Wasn't expecting that.
Oh, that's it, Trish.
It was really good, and it was great fun out there. I absolutely loved that weather. Did everyone else love that weather? Savages. It was great. It was quite cheap rooms on studio.
Miss it. Gutted.
Did you? Next time. Next
Yeah,
time.
definitely. I think times I've been up studio and actually see Keswick, maybe a handful. It is.
Actually, every recce we did, we had incredible views.
Yeah.
I just saw UC's dance there, to be honest, like that. And just held on. We should just quickly as well, before we do a quick brew coach, say how Trish came about. And Russell was meant to be here, but his little girl is Aladdin in school. She's got some great moves. He sent us proof of this. The dance moves are incredible. We should put it up. I nearly popped my back just watching it. We should say how, Trish, you ended up being a coach on the podcast. Again, you came on the podcast and we were like, holy smokes, let's go up and talk. And I think it was it's a long time ago, wasn't it? But it was a great podcast.
Awesome.
Yeah, you were great. And so we'd had this like little idea that we should, you know, other voices, and that little bit of nugget. I hope that perhaps you've heard a Brew with the Coaches, maybe you've given a question or you've listened to a question, even if like sometimes the answers has to be heavily edited with Russell, but maybe you've learned a little bit, or maybe with Russell. Maybe you don't feel like if it's something as well a little bit close to home, you think, oh, I'm glad everyone else feels like that as well. So we look at the Brew with the Coaches section, and it's often what people say as well as one of their favourite bits of the podcast.
And it is Trish that did coin the breathe and believe face, because you get angry because people think copyright is me and made millions. But I mean, hands up if you've ever breathed and believed during a race and we challenge. Amazing. Someone get it tattooed. I thought that was awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Are you here?
Yeah, who's got the tattoo?
Anyone got a tattoo? Disappointed. You should start listening.
Spot prize, quick. Well, one thing that I heard today, it was the first time for many of you out doing an ultra, so I thought it would be good.
Maybe you've got an ultra on the horizon. So, what should recovery look like? Yeah, asking for a friend.
Well, it probably shouldn't look like what I did today. It depends fundamentally on a number of factors. So one, the distance that you're running, two, the type of race, and your training history. So generally, the fitter you are in general, the faster you can recover. So it is very individual, and what you do to train is very dependent as well. If I talk about my own recovery and what that looks like, it's very different from how I trained 10 years ago. ago. So I'm a bit older now, I'm 40. No. I only go about 25, don't I?
And you didn't know you were 40 till
I know. It's outrageous. But so, like, to talk about my own recovery, what's changed for me is I do, for example, a lot more bike work now than I used to. 10 years ago I didn't do any bike at all because it really hurt my butt. But now my butt's conditioned to it, and I can do longer. So yeah, a lot more bike work, for example, and strength and conditioning. I think definitely becomes more important as you get older as well. It's super important to do anyway, but I really do feel it becomes much more important as you get older. And the key thing as well is not coming back too soon. So you have to, I think it's super important. Don't do 100 miles like a couple of weeks before a very fully 50k. But fundamentally, you need to give yourself time to recover. And I don't just mean in terms of that physical recovery, but the mental recovery from a race as well. So, for example, if you're doing a big race, like a multi-day race, the recovery can take like 3 months, maybe longer sometimes. And actually, the mental recovery from a race like that, if it's been a very, very hard race, takes time because you want to enjoy training. Ultimately, we're all here because we love running, right? And it should be a joy. Running should be a joy. So I think if you get to a part of your training where you're racing and it doesn't feel like a joy anymore, that's when you know you have a problem and you do need to take a step back and maybe address some of those factors about what you're doing, how you're doing it.
Oh, so I could listen to all day, I think there's still Precision Fuel and Hydration's 3 levers that they talk about. If ever you go on their webpages to look up some details, but I'm going to use this. What I think of the 3 levers of recovery is rest, sleep, and eat. And if you imagine you've got like 3 levers there, depending on you can't putting down the 3 levers a star. But let's face it, we all go home and are like, and you're like, oh my god, it's been 3 hours and I haven't taken my protein shake, I'm not going to beat Killian now. So it's like pulling on the levers you know that you can pull on for recovery. Sleep trumps everything. If you can just get yourself to bed a little bit earlier, that will make such a difference to your recovery. If you can eat, again, I think just pounding those calories is the way to recover as well. And then just resting. It's so boring and it's not going to earn you millions, but people are going to say you need this, you need this fancy stuff, what you need to do is sit your ass on the sofa and watch Dallas Cowgirls on repeat. You should do that anyway, so that's some trash. Some trash with white shorts. I still think I could it on the Yellowstone. Oh, that's that one. No.
Is it Yellowstone?
No way. Slides.
We love Yellowstone.
It's like, it's like spring. No, it's Hill, Dallas Cowgirls. I won't make you put your hands up because you don't need to admit that. Shame. It's good. Yeah, and there's no hacking. And sadly, that is, we sell these biohacks and everything, do this, do that. There is literally no hacking recovery. As Trish said, the longer you've been training and conditioning your body, you do bounce back from races earlier. So you might see somebody out there today who was running South Downs Way 100 or something and be like, how, after my first 100, I don't think I could walk. I definitely could only put push fingers in the oven for a good 2 weeks. But you do get better, but you must respect, and it must be a training block, that recovery cycle, and you mustn't think, oh, I'm slacking off, I'm losing my fitness. It is so important because all you have to do is just dip down a little bit, and you will, when you come back, you will come back stronger. If you don't do that dip and you just sort of down a little bit, you're going to flatline then for quite a long time because I can see people nodding because and you want to get back in, you want to hold on to that fitness, but that fatigue mentally and physically, and I'm sure maybe a few people today that have done big races, and then I had quite a few people going, keep your legs, and you think you're okay, but actually it does take a long time to recover. So beers, burgers, when we go out, everyone's to bed early. No party tent tonight.
I think also social media is pretty terrible for in terms of recovery because you constantly see people going out and doing things, and social media is such a nightmare. Or it's such a lie. I mean, it's, you know, so when you see people doing these, you know, hard workouts or, you know, doing 20s, yeah, you know, a week after doing another race, that's not what you should be doing. So don't think that is what you should be doing. That's not normal. And it might be normal for, you know, top end athletes, again, who will recover very, very well. But the majority of us are just normal, you know, and we're just trying to go out and have a good time. So remember that when you're scrolling through social media.
Amazing. Rest hard tomorrow, everybody. Just an easy 20. Just an easy 20. Put that one on the calendar. Trish, we love you more than words can say. Thank you for being a part of our podcast. Will you put out a spot prize for... We've got a few spot prizes to give out. This is Libby, who is the secret Tea and Trails manager. And we're going to call a number. Can you remember your number? Yeah. Oh, she's got... You see? That's the point. Names as well. If the person's not here, it's not that. You don't get a prize and pull out the next one. Right. Meanwhile, while we're doing this, would our esteemed guest like to...
Number 33.
Still.
Eleanor.
Woo! Eleanor Castle, are you here? Yeah!
Come on down.
We just love you guys, and we just want to give you that. Yes. Robyn, Mel and Lucy, would you like to slowly make your way up to this room? I feel like you've not done a real crochet. Oh, did you already clapped up? Right, just wait there, I want to clap you. You hold there. You sit down. What's coming to you? Here we go, 97. 97. Who's 97? Joseph Hartley, are you here? It's time to introduce me. He's here!
It's going to have a warm welcome, please, for three awesome ladies, multiple fine finishes and multiple podiums, legends. And outside, Tom Cassidy and Lucy Catherine. Yeah, fun times on the trails.
Yes, fun times today, yeah. It's proper weather that for running.
You've been beasted yesterday by two notable spine demons, so your legs.
One going skidder. Danielle was dragging me up, weren't you, Danielle? Yeah, she went help down.
Yeah, you looked amazing. You look well perky.
Oh, sorry, yes.
Okay, this is what happens everywhere. What was your, you know, I really love the course. It's some of the bits around Mungrise Hill, which I wouldn't normally go. I love that kind of solitude with only trails there. What about yourself? What was your...
Yeah, I've never been round that way before, because normally on the way for 100, that's as far as round that way, and then you turn off, don't you, down that horrible little dip. Yeah, so I've never been round to where Skidder House was. We thought it was really nice round there. Really
I thought it was derelict until today.
Yeah, it does look it.
And what's next? What's next for you?
Lakeland 100. See you there.
Who's going to represent the fastest?
Always me. Me, definitely.
What about you, Robyn? Yeah, how did it go?
Oh, I did the 30k. Oh, no shame. It was a smart race to do. And absolutely loved it. Yeah.
And what was that? I don't know if you've been up Steel when it's been like that.
Yeah, I like that type of weather. I like it when it's a little bit wild and spicy.
I think in an event you get that kind of little bit of extra security. There's people there, you've got a tracker, you have your friends and stuff like that. Yeah, the event really gives it that. What's coming up next?
I'm having really a little bit of a break like some ultra distance stuff. So I'm going to do Scotland Skyline, the Steel Marathon, thumbs up from June, in September. So try a 40k, a little bit shorter, a little bit faster. I'm just going to get my butts kicked by lots of fast women, which will be great.
Well, how about yourself, Lucy? You talked about recovery earlier. South Halsway 100, crushed it.
Have you seen that track cycle? Someone's rolling with friends. What was the question, sorry?
I was it. Did you go the day?
I did, yeah. It was. I wouldn't normally do this 2 weeks after 100, but this was in Bulgaria and South Halsway wasn't. I couldn't pull out, so I was like, I could have done a shorter one, but that's just not me. But no, it was great. I actually loved it, and it was really nice doing an event and not wasting it, and just spending time in the aid stations, and it's really. I love it both ways, but that was really cool, and good fun.
Highlights of the route to the particular field.
Checkpoints.
What are the checkpoints? My goodness me.
Yeah.
So what's next?
I've got a little adventure, but I'm not going to share it. It's not that exciting, but it's not like. But anyway, and so no adventure. It's not a race.
We've got some listener questions for that.
Because they don't deserve that sort of preparation time.
These are not really deep and meaningful. They're sort of
We were going to say, if you would like to know more about, I don't know why, you might, these three girls, they've got a bit of history, they know a bit about running. They've all been on the podcast, a couple of times, one time, 2 times. So you can go back and search their running journeys, what they've done is amazing. And I felt it was really important for the podcast as well that we put women on the stage as well to go, these three are such a role model and I look up to them, they are incredible, but they're so supportive as well, so we felt that it was really important that they have the platform today to do. So now it's really deep, meaningful questions, you know us guys.
Oh yeah, got it deep straight away. First question from Lindsay Browning. You here tonight, Lindsay? Awesome.
Lindsay, if you go back to our Winter 200 episode, was the one who fed me tea just before Boxhill. She was an emergency call out, and then I put the tea all over Steve's feet. But we don't need to go into it.
Talking about tea, how long do you let your tea bag brew for?
Anybody knows me would know this. I literally just don't. This is going to get more booze. I'm a coffee lady.
Come on, Mel. See what you do.
Leave it in. Leave the tea bag in.
Wow, okay, so you're leaving it there. Did you go tea bag then milk, or did you put the tea bag with milk and then water?
Tea bag, hot water, milk, tiny bit of milk.
Slash.
You're also a picky man.
Alright, next question from Lindsay too. One condiment for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Gravy.
Yeah.
Now sometimes sends pictures of the tea. It should be an Instagram page. It's amazing. It's always gravy. Pie, gravy. Chicken, gravy. Amazing.
Gravy just goes on everything.
Yeah.
Including fish.
Oh. I'm not too sure. Well, yeah, good shout. Yeah, because you took some in. Well, you Robyn.
Same question. I live by condiments. I would rather eat condiments than the actual food. So, can't pick one. I usually have like 10 on the plate.
Bit of mango chutney.
Ketchup classic. We'll go with that. But usually about 6 other condiments.
Would you ketchup on roast dinner?
Of course.
Yes. Show of hands, who would ketchup on a roast dinner?
No,
Oh, Christmas dinner? Right, you can see.
you're clear and pure. You think like they wouldn't have condiments.
No, I was saying that peanut butter. Rest of my life, I'd have peanut butter and roast stuff. But I have to. That's all we can. Really? Yeah, always. So I'm having that. Thanks, it's awesome.
Alright. In what order did you get dressed? You go from the bottom up? Top down. It's easy.
Interesting stuff to say. How are you getting dressed?
These are not my questions. No, I'm putting this past you. Sorry. Well, I always leave the torso to last, but it's good as mine.
I think I always go bottoms first. Like most people, normal people. Yeah, whatever's actually, because I never put laundry away, I just have the laundry chair. And you just go, like, rotate the 3 outfits. And
I just walk around myself.
yeah, oh. Sorry, Lisa.
Take it over, Lindsay. One more question. Next question is from Robyn Midwood Bell. You here, Tyrone? Hey! Okay, oh, this is a serious question. Single best piece of advice to a new trailer.
Feet. And your back. And your ass.
In that order. I'll say don't take it seriously. Just keep it calm. And eat more than you need to. More than you think.
Patience too for me. You know, you've got plenty of time.
Yeah, I'm going to level up on that. It's more about the fun and the weekends away rather than the races. Yeah. But it's obvious to put them on this race. and loopy one.
We're not teach sandwiches all course of the other checkpoints. What is the best sandwich filling? For what race day?
For race day?
Yeah.
Oh, so I got recommended, what was it? It was hummus, cheese and chutney on a thin bagel.
Oh, it's a lot of wet.
Yeah, and with a thin bagel, it's a thick bagel. Yeah, you need it wet. You need it wet. With a thick bagel, it gets too dry.
Yeah.
But actually, I had a spine thin bagel, which actually I ended up shoving in my belt pack. I wasn't sure where you were going with that. Shoving in my belt underneath my poles, because my poles were bruising my back by the end of the spine.
Yeah.
So my bagel was like protecting my back and my poles.
You meant to use poles.
What?
Two poles and
Well, we don't know what poles. Yeah, they're an accessory. But yeah, by the end of the spine, after about 4 days of them being pretty much right next to my bum, I was still at the
Any tang or just fresh? Did you get any tang?
Oh, yeah, it was fresh.
Mine's cheese and pickle.
Always cheese and pickle.
How good was the pickle to cheese ratio in those sandwiches today? It's sensational. So much pickle. I'll go cheese and nuts.
Oh, peanut butter.
Peanut butter, yeah. How do you get the moistness of that peanut butter out of it? Just the jams.
I've never done it, Jan. Incredible. We've got a little game, fun times, sad times.
It's been so quiet. Right, instead of the quick five, we come up with a new game. Gary wants to play Pictionary now. Oh no! What do you
I lost the
I
ball.
want to go to bed. Go around with that. It was a great idea, but I think that's a separate event. We'll just do Pictionary.
Fun times, sad times.
Fun times, sad times. Shall I ask you one that?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Carbon plated shoes. Fun times, sad times.
Yeah, you get the game. Should we go get the game? We're going to ask you in a minute, I think. Yeah, fun times good, sad times bad. I'm going to ask you to put your thumbs up, thumbs down. Are we're talking carbon plated trail shoes specifically here. So, are you ready? We're going to ask these three first. You've never tried them.
Sad times. Can I hear a fun times if you like carbon plated shoes? Fun times. What about sad times?
No. You're hiding the queen of carbon. That's interesting.
Yeah, I will carbon creation.
Well, you carbon. No, you won't carbon today.
I think I own about 5 of the top 10 carbon plated
You didn't
shoes.
say that when they were running. Gary started listing the top 10 carbon plated trail shoes as we were running, and I was like, this is my best life. And there's number 4. Now, number 4 is an interesting choice.
The Ultra One
I think we were
carbon.
going up skill, so I was like, you chat away, my friend. What's it like, Gary?
I'll leave the next one.
Running poles. Yeah! But Lucy, the only person on Saturday, it was much commented on your polls, and they were like, why has she got them out? And I was like, if you've ever run with Lucy, those polls are like, I'm sure they're an extra pair of legs. I don't know what you got down them. When they start coming out, and she goes, I'm so glad we're running easy today. With the polls, you're the queen of polls.
Get some looks at Martin. I was like, what the hell?
If you can use them, and Robyn, as we said, I've seen Robyn take her poles on some great walks.
Yeah,
You were just carrying
around
them.
my race.
Yeah, I've been told off quite a lot for just carrying the poles around. They're a good accessory.
You do get full when you've got them, like in your pack, don't you?
Yeah.
Why are you on the fence with the poles?
I've checked them. Well, I don't always use them. It's just a bit of a bath. I just found them a bath.
Yeah. You either get them out, don't you? I do think you get them out, you commit to poles, or you just take them on a nice walk.
Yeah,
Use them.
But it was quite annoying if someone's annoying you. You could just kind of like, Trish, okay, your name's me.
I have to say to her, poles! Guys, what are we thinking? From time to time with the poles? Oh, no!
Time.
Oh, okay. If we're going to invest in something, poles definitely over the carbon.
Yeah. Okay, after today was Skinner. Fun times or sad times?
Fun times, 100%.
Sometimes, yeah. Fun time.
Oh,
But has that changed? Was it sad times? And now it's fun times?
I've only done it before, so
Oh, I see.
fun.
like it's always like this, isn't it?
Yeah, true, it's fun.
So, what about you guys? When you were up there, was it fun times or sad times? And now you've done it, you're down and safe. Fun times. Awesome, I think that's all. Fun times.
Yes, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for being our first ever Unforgettable show.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Should we do it?
Should we just do a...
You can get people to take them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. A few more spot prizes before we conclude tonight. We should have got this. Yeah, let's get some little people. Girls, do you want to pick? Pick your mummy. What's Mummy's number?
Oh, just one. I can do two. Okay, come on.
Yes, you do. Oh. Anyone cramping? We've got loads of electrolyte.
113. Are you in the house?
I could read the name. Feel like that one. 279.
279.
There are 9 of them. Well, they don't deserve anything.
Oh, for us, yeah.
More for us.
I've got to make some more of those.
Let's do 2 more. People will be falling asleep. Gary, while they're pulling it out,
Yep.
how do you feeling about Lake 100? How many weeks?
4 weeks, isn't it?
4 weeks. Who else is on the start line next to Gary? For amazing.
How many male V50s? 1, 2,
Do you want to take their photos and you can just...
Mike, Robert.
Oh my God.
I've been pretty pumped. I've had a great year, to be honest.
You've not done much training, you're just going to wing it.
0 taper, straight into it. Yeah, you know, I've trained for the mountain, 0 taper. Had a really good London, smashed all county tops, and Thrillville Marathon too. So yeah, I'm feeling good, but it's just that nausea. We both battle the nausea. If we can eat and it stays down, yeah, I'll swing for sub 24, and if it doesn't happen, as long as I get my splits, 50th finish for quite a few of us, so yeah, I can't wait, it's going to be awesome.
As you always say to me after all my Vomiters races, you say great content. And what's coming up? What are you doing this week? Little Hollybobs?
Yeah, we've got a couple of days in Keswick. It's my daughter's birthday. I'm sure she hears the fact I've just shared that with everybody. Yeah.
Any running? He did say I'm not running tomorrow. Family time.
Okay. You might want me to go for a run now, maybe you won't be, so we'll see. Yeah, maybe not running. Should spend a couple of days and then it's back on that grind. We're interviewing Luke Redfell Shaw on Monday.
Monday night.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's coming back. His chat was like, that blew our minds, didn't it, when he came on the podcast. Such a nice guy, and he's kept in contact, and his film is now.
Yeah, like it's tandem, doing it to her.
He was meant to be racing Laredo, so he was going to come to today, and then he sent us a message saying, messed up application for Laredo here, but not racing.
So he's there, but he's not racing.
Oh dear. Sad times.
So we've got the
that's okay.
113 with Jasmine Hansel.
Jasmine Hansel?
That's 113 on 27 lines and 113.
Adam Piglet. Amazing.
We do two more.
Sorry, full name.
Go, just, waiting to get ready to answer me.
Yeah.
247! 247!
Can someone just tell me their number?
212! Jordan Travis, 247!
Come on. Now look at it. Yay! You can do that. Oh, we could do first take down tomorrow morning.
So yeah, West Cross Scotland, you, unlike myself, I've had these little kind of barometers to gauge how things are going.
Oh, barometer's ready. What was my last race? I just go. I think that the thing is, I do these mega races, and so it takes a long time. Anyone's done, Northern First, Cape Rat, these really big races. It's not just the race itself; it's the preparation that goes into them. It's all consuming. If you're going to do them and you're going to finish, they have to be I'm a big believer of the one focus, and so I don't do. And also, my kids are quite a bit younger than yours, so me going away for a weekend is a big deal because it's not. They don't care if I'm there or not. It's when you come home and I'm like, did anybody put wash on? Well, and I just go around.
Wash the drive.
You got to wash the drive. So no, I haven't had little races.
And then we go head to head.
And then the next big race. Head to head. I scoped you out a little bit today. I pushed a little bit. I hung back a bit. I watched your technique, noted your weaknesses, made a few notes, and thought, easy, buddy. I'm going to give him 100 miles, and I'm going to come back and go, you're right.
Yes, what is it? Wreath. You're going to just wave goodbye.
Wreath.
So long, Seth.
We'll have a cuppa at the Dales Bike Centre, and then I'll go, oh, I think I'm just going to kick on a bit now. And I'll wait for you at the finish.
Fighting talk!
There's no chance. You'll be waiting for me.
Well, fighting talk. Shane is a B50, making 100.
No, not quite yet.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We're excited. We've got some big things coming up. So yeah, we're both on holiday. So we've sort of discussed not doing a podcast, doing a podcast. I'm going away camping with the kids. Dear Lord, save me. Oh my God, 2 weeks. Two teenagers and one 30-year-old, 10-year-old.
He's not going to be happy when he sees the tent.
No. Oh, when Bryn sees the tent full of water. And also, I'm not getting it back in that bag. No way. How do you do that? How do you get those blue tents back in the bags?
It's a special skill.
Okay, guys. Come on, special skills. So yeah, lots to look forward to.
Yeah.
We've got to get through the next few weeks healthy, fit. You can do it. Right, we've got a very special person to. It's not going to be us closing our podcast, but we say the same words every time we post podcasts or every single. Triple Reverend. We say the same words every week, and they actually we said them before you, Lawrence. I know there was life before you. There was life before you. There was podcast before you. But in the beginning, no, you need to press the little button. That's it. But you actually came on the podcast, and then we've sort of like developed the conclusion of the podcast. And I do think it's a very special. I know it's just a few words, but I do think it's a very special bit. Gary always reads it because you've all heard enough of me during the podcast. Gary always reads it with his lovely accent, and we've changed it, as you know, we've developed it. Sometimes we put out, if a guest says something that we're like, oh, that means a lot, but quite a lot, we have Jack Scott quite a lot, didn't we, with Hold Your Shield High. Yeah. But the Breathe and Believe has been in there, right, from the beginning. Trust the process. Progress, not perfection. Hopefully things you'll...
Train as you want to fight.
Train as you want to fight. All sorts of things that sometimes you just need to pull on when we go and get stuff. But we thought instead of hearing us say goodbye, it would be nice to actually get the man, the legend, that is... You were meant to be running today. Sad times.
Yeah, sad times, bad knee, and didn't want to race Jacob, who I knew would be But yeah, would have loved to have been sat here having run, but unfortunately couldn't.
Well, thank you for supporting the podcast. You drop into our emails. You don't slide into DMs.
I couldn't do that.
No. You drop into our emails every few months saying, still listening, still checking, you're all's good, and you give us a catch-up of your news, and we really appreciate you coming here tonight.
Thank you. I would like to just, because I'm the last person with a microphone in my hand, I would like to thank Gary and Eddie for the community that they are building. And it's just wonderful to be here with you all. I wish I could have run, but could we give them too a big round of applause and a tune? I've just been sat at the side here writing tomorrow morning's sermon, and I'm going to read that to you in a moment. But I've been a long-time listener, and funnily enough, and it's just sort of amazing to me that I used to live in Bassenthwaite, just around the corner of Skidder, and I first encountered you two coming into my ears, if I can say that.
Oh.
On that track that you've been on today, on the track to Skidder House and on the path up Pike and up to Skidder. So it's crazy that we're all here today, and I'm just so grateful to be here. I've heard it was a bit of a stiff test, and a lot of people nearly got blown off on Skidder, so well done everyone. And
We've got a new co-host, I love it.
Calm down, honestly. It was windy, was it not? Windy. So, but I think communities are built on stories, and everybody here contributes when they share their story. And this is a big story that's being told over this weekend. And I also think that communities are built on gratitude. So while I haven't actually been writing a sermon, I've been writing a blessing of thanksgiving for this community. And the way that it works is that every time I say the word together, you have to repeat that word. And hopefully it will work out. And let's see if you're a bit more friendly than most of my congregations. They're lovely. Okay, so this is a blessing of thanksgiving for the Tea and Trails community. We give thanks for the winding trails beneath our feet, for the earth that steadies us, the rocks that teach us balance, and the roots that remind us to watch our step and keep us humble together. We are grateful for the forests that shelter us, the mountains, especially Skidder, that challenge us, and the open skies that lift our spirits as we run together. Bless the early mornings and muddy shoes, the shared miles and silent companionship, the laughter at aid stations, and the strength found in struggle together. For every summit crested and every valley crossed, we give thanks for the lungs that burn, the hearts that beat, and for this Tea Trails community that carries us farther than we could go alone, together. May we continue to run with purpose and joy, to tread lightly and honour the wild places we love, and may our gratitude grow deeper with each step we take together. So may the trail rise up to meet you, may the wind be always at your back, may the sun shine warm on your face, the rains fall softly upon your fields, and until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you all so much, from the bottom of our hearts. My name is Gary Thwaites,
I'm Eddie Sutton.
and that was episode, what was it, 130?
131 we did it.
131, yeah. The Tea Trails Podcast.
Another beer.